Hey, this is Brian again, and I'd like to ask you to do a favor. We can't do this work without people like you, so if you can, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about Bring Back the Porch.
I got home that day from the tournament, and I had probably about 10, 15 emails in my inbox from vets who, when they got home, wanted to talk about their experience and how grateful they were for it. Some stories I heard were that was the first time they've ever had anyone do something like that for them.
This episode of Bring Back the Porch brought to you by Bernie Leahy, River Street Realty. Let's get you home. And this time on the porch, I'm pleased to welcome Rhonda Burry, who is in charge of the Valour on the Green Veteran Golf Tournament. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It is the second time around the block for the tournament. Last year was the first.
Yes, it was.
You learned a lot, I think, in that first organization.
I learned a great deal.
Yeah.
It was quite an experience from start to actual fruition and seeing it at the tournament and learning from that experience afterwards to applying it to this year's tournament.
Where did the idea come from last year? What prompted you to even take on an adventure like this?
Well, I was inspired by a local veteran and I wanted to do something and I couldn't figure out what to do. And through him, I met so many other vets. And like him, service doesn't end when you retire from the military. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I've heard many conversations, I've had many conversations with vets, and they talk about their struggles. Yeah. And I thought, what can I do? And it's Medicine Hat, sunniest city. We have lots of golf courses. And I thought, let's do something in the summertime and not just think of them in November, but
yes.
And they have to be thought of all year round. So I thought, let's do a golf tournament.
Yeah. Simple idea.
Yeah, and I don't even play golf.
So how did you manage to pull it off?
I have no idea.
Just happened.
Yeah, it's, I would reach out to people and then they're like, yeah, sure. I just kept talking to people and kept talking about it and what I wanted to do. And through talking about it, more and more people wanted to sponsor, donate, and wanted to be a part of it, wanted to volunteer. And it just became, it's kind of like a train that I couldn't stop. Okay. Everyone just kept donating and contributing and stepping up.
Now, last year was held at the Riverside Golf Course in Redcliffe.
Yes.
And you were telling me that even up to a couple of days ahead of time, you were still trying to fill the field.
Yes.
Not the case this time.
No. Day one, when I opened registration on January 1st, by 6 o'clock, I had 60 veterans registered for the tournament. By the middle of January, I had 78, and right now I'm at 104.
And that is capacity, I believe.
Yes. Capacity for the golf course, they told me was 100, and I have 104 right now. And we also are going to open it up to the public May 1st, so we can have the public be a part of the tournament and play along with vets.
Okay. This tournament supports a couple of charities.
Yes, it does.
Who are the benefactors?
The charity that will receive the donations are Field of Crosses, which is a memorial in Calgary that takes place on Memorial Drive. And Pause for Resiliency, which is a local charity in Medicine Hat that helps vets with service dogs.
PAWS.
Yes,
okay.
Like dog paw.
Okay. The sponsorship, you said people have just been fantastic coming forward.
Yes. I have received, right now, as of today, as of last week, I received, it's in total about $18,003, what we've received for sponsorship. The sponsorship is twofold, so it makes sure that no veteran has to pay to play. It takes away the financial barrier. And the remaining of the funds that we receive, along with raffle, silent auction, mulligans, and that kind of stuff, gets split between the two charities.
Okay. You mentioned that the public is going to get a chance to take part in this.
Yes.
On May 1st. What happens on that day?
Well, the golf course opens it up to the public so that anyone who would like to participate, they can sign up through Medicine Hat Golf and Country Club.
Okay, all right. So they'll be paying the golf course?
Yes.
Okay.
They'll pay the golf course, but the money comes to us as our group, and then we take that money, and a portion of those, it pays for obviously their fee, yes, the golf course. And whatever is remaining from those fees that are paid to the golf course come to us, and that gets added to the total of money getting distributed to the two charities.
And you're doing it on the 12th of June, which is a Friday, and
yes.
There's a significance to the Friday.
Yes, there is. It's Red Shirt Friday, which is Remember Everyone Deployed.
It's also right after D-Day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so you have a sort of a double I guess, message there too.
Yes.
Yeah. You started this tournament last year. It has grown. What did you learn from the veterans who took part?
Oh, I might get a little bit emotional because some of the responses, some of the responses I received, I got home that day from the tournament and I had probably about 10, 15 emails in my inbox from vets who, when they got home, wanted to talk about their experience and how grateful they were for it. Some stories I heard were that was the first time they've ever had anyone do something like that for them. We had a gift that I kept a secret for a really long time, not a very well kept secret, but we did cards and I wanted to say thank you. And I was like, how can I say thank you? And I went to a local teacher, my friend Heather McKeag.
Oh, we know Heather well.
Yeah, and Heather helped me out. And we had students from Crescent Heights High School who wrote each veteran a card to say thank you. They had drawings and all these things on them. And that's a lot of the vets, when they got home and they're reading these cards, they had the tournament and they were seeing these cards in their swag bag and they didn't get to see it until the end when they got home. And I got these really emotional responses of how much it made them, how much of an impact it made on them.
You mentioned that we have to remember our veterans, not just in November.
Yes.
And that's what this tournament does, because when they finish their service, sometimes we do forget.
We do. And they didn't step up to serve just November 11th.
No.
They stepped up to serve, and they're every day of the year. And their service doesn't end when they retire from the military. It's something that they carry with them, and they find different ways to step up and serve after their service. What
did they tell you about life after service? What's the biggest challenge that they face?
Some told me different things. Like they have struggles with Veterans Affairs. Some told me they struggle with their mental health, PTSI, PTSD. Some told me that they have struggles with connecting outside of, because there's a certain camaraderie that you have in the military. I'm not familiar as I haven't served, but they talk about that camaraderie that you have. And when you leave, that structure, that sense is kind of gone, and it's like they don't have that sense of belonging like they did when they were in the military.
I think they have an expression, I've got your six.
Yes.
Got your back.
Yep.
And it is a brotherhood and a sisterhood.
It is, yeah.
And you say when that ends, you're kind of, I guess, if you were to leave your family and don't have anybody to maybe lean on.
No, and this tournament gives them a sense to come back together and that sense of camaraderie that they like and they enjoy and that they crave. And it's and lots of them, like I can't even count how many times I heard at the tournament, how many times they either reconnected with old service members, people they served with 10, 20, 30 years ago. And not just one. Sometimes there was they met 5 or 6 guys or more. And same thing with the women, same thing with, it was just some people they haven't seen in years and they're on the other side of the country because we had people from Ontario come here.
Really?
Yeah, we had people from BC, Northern Alberta and Southern Alberta. We had vets from all over and they all found their source of connection. And it was just nice to see that's what this is about.
Okay. The veterans, you have, I think, on the tee boxes, some crosses.
Yes, we do.
To remember those.
Yeah, we have 18 crosses plus 2, I should say 20. We have 18 crosses, one at every hole marker, and each one of those crosses is from the Field of Crosses. They allow us to have one of their crosses at each one of the tee boxes, and they have 2 from the 120, which is Canadian. We lost 120,000 soldiers, so they have 2 of those crosses at their booth, and then they have one at every hole marker, and that is for a service member that has from the Medicine Hat or Southern, Medicine Hat, Redcliffe area.
Okay. You talk about the Memorial Drive in Calgary, and if you've been there, you know all of the crosses that are along that road. And
yes.
So these are part of that.
Yes, they are. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about the sponsors, because they need to get a shout out for stepping forward.
I have a lot. 2 I can't really name yet.
It's a surprise.
Yeah, it's a surprise. Yeah, you'll see on the tournament day. They'll be there. I have Canna Connect, which is one of my sponsors. They are a clinic that helps service members and RCMP. I have Molly Maid, Medicine Hat Molly Maid, Medicine Hat Toyota, and I have Southern Gas and Safety. And I also have another anonymous donor that contributed the same equal amount of money. And then I have quite a lot of team sponsors, Trad Worm Farms, And Roxanne was awesome.
Yes, she always is.
She is. She's the best. And I have veterans and everyday heroes. I have the CAV who donated. And I had a local lady from Calgary who donated as well. Plus, I also had a union step forward, the United Service Workers Union, which is, they have a Veterans of Steel committee, and they donated a team, sponsored a team of vets.
So we say thank you to them as well, because without them it would be a lot harder to put this on, because
it would be.
The veterans don't pay.
No veteran has to pay to play. That's my motto, and that's my goal.
Yeah. You also have a presence on social media.
I do, yes. I have a Facebook page, Valour on the Green.
Valour.
Canadian spelling, yes, the proper spelling.
Yeah, and on that page you have a lot of different things, posting some of the draw prizes that people might be able to win.
Yes, I have some pretty cool ones. I'm really excited about the Canadian flag from Juno Beach.
Yes. How did you manage to get an artifact like that?
Well, they're really nice people at Juno Beach, and I told them what I was doing, and they wanted to step forward. They donated a Canadian flag last year. The gentleman who bid on that donated it to the armories in Medicine Hat. Mm-hmm. And this year we received another one, and they wanted to do more this year, and they sent me a ton more stuff. All I had in the email was prizes, and I opened up the box, and, well, there was prizes.
Lots of them.
Lots of them.
So I guess in a sense, through your activity here, you have gained more family members as well.
I have, yes. Yeah. It's a very big family. And it's getting bigger every single day. I have new sign up on the wait list.
Well, I often think that, when we look at our neighbors to the south, they remember their veterans more frequently than we do here in Canada, but I think we're starting to catch up.
I think we are too. Like, I do know that in the States, they do a lot for vets in the U.S., and I think Canada's starting to get a little bit more with that. Part of the thing that we do at our tournament is my goal was I wanted to sponsor veterans so they didn't have to pay to play. And I wanted to include in the swag bag information of different services that are out there that will help our vets, and or companies that show their support. And I also wanted to have stuff set up on the tournament for companies that are there to support them, because there's different types of therapy that help them with what they struggle with, whether it be physical or the invisible wounds that they struggle with. So I wanted to make sure I incorporated that a lot in my event.
It's all about connections.
Yes.
Yeah, and building and keeping relationships.
Yes.
Yeah. So June the 12th is the day. It's
Yes.
still got a little while between now and then. People who are watching or listening to the podcast, how can they help?
Well, you can reach out to me through the Valour on the Green Facebook page, or you can email me, which is Rhonda Burry 20@gmail.com.
And that's Burry.
Yes. Or on my phone number. They can call or text me on that.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to another good day. Hopefully the weather will be good on the 12th of June for the second annual Valour on the Green Veteran Golf Tournament in Medicine Hat at the Medicine Hat Golf and Country Club. Anything else that you wanted to touch on?
No, that's everything.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Hey, this is Brian again, and I'd like to ask you to do a favor. We can't do this work without people like you, so if you can, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about Bring Back the Porch.